Hi! So I thought I'd pick a more interesting location to do my video log about how I got my job as a flight attendant. So I'm going to choose a seat somewhere along Canada Place here, and then I'll tell you all about it. So hold on. Okay, so how I got my job as a flight attendant. I was flying back from Toronto this past summer, and I was out of work at the time, and I got to thinking about what kinds of jobs would be good for me. If you don't know me, I've been teaching ESL for the past year, and I do love teaching ESL, but I was looking to try something new just to round out my resume a bit and try something else. So as I'm flying back, I'm seeing the flight attendants, and it occurred to me that I've been flying every year my whole life. I love to fly, I love to travel, I love people, and that flight attending would be an awesome career path for me, or at least something to try. And secretly, I've kind of always wanted to be a flight attendant, but I just didn't see it as a serious path. So when I got home from Toronto in this past summer, probably August, I saw a posting for a flight attendant position, and I applied online. I'm just gonna move and talk here. I saw a posting online and I applied, filled out all the details, and I was sent an email, much to my surprise, for an interview. So I went to the interviews, and there were 400 people for interviews. So they had rented a hotel for the weekend, and they were doing mass interviews. Now I should say that before this interview started, I did so much research about what to expect. I gathered references that were specifically titled to the company for which I'm now employed, and I don't want to mention the name. Yeah, so at the interview, it was a 3-process interview. First, they had us go in this holding room to start, and they give you a little presentation all about the company, what they're about, and how things will work. And then they take you to another holding room for the interviews. So my first interview went really well. It was just, it was standard interview questions like, why do you want to work for this company? What do you know about us? What do you bring to this organization? Standard interview questions. So I did that, and as the interview was progressing, I was getting lots of, oh, wow, that's a great answer. Oh, okay, yeah, tell me more about that. So I could tell that things were going well, and then they took me out and they brought me to another holding room for a second interview. Now, after the fact, I found out that most people at this point were already sent home. So if you got a second interview, you did really well. So I was waiting for my second interview, and this interview was a behavioral interview. And my current employer gave me a heads up about this. She said they like to ask you all kinds of questions, like just to figure out what makes you tick and how you are with people. So be prepared to answer those types of questions. So I did a lot of research ahead of time, but then I got these off-ball questions that I wasn't expecting, like what annoys you? And I couldn't think of anything, so I said it annoys me when I can't find matching socks. Because I think it was actually a good answer, because nothing that often annoys me, except if I'm really disorganized, or if people are being just total jerks. But you know, it's an interview. I'm not gonna say like if people are being jerks, then I'm annoyed, obviously. But yeah, so I did the behavioral interview, and after that, I was leaving, and I shook their hand. I said, "Thank you so much for your time. This interview means a lot to me," and you know, just closing the interview. And then I asked if there's anything else, and she said no. So I'm just moving angles because there's people. So I went home, and then when I got home, I had a voicemail, and the voicemail said, "Oh, hi Angela, it's so-and-so from the interview, and I want to ask you if you could come back because we forgot to get your measurements for the uniforms." So I was really excited when I heard that they wanted to measure me for the uniform, and that it was actually worth calling me back, and I thought that was a pretty good sign. There's just a float plane taking off, so that's why it's loud. So I got dressed again, and Joe drove me back to Richmond, and did the fitting, tried everything on, and they said, you know, this isn't a guarantee, but you know, we just want to make sure we have all the fittings done. So anyways, I went home, and they said they called by the next Wednesday or next Friday, or they said 2 to 3 weeks. We'll call them 2 to 3 weeks. So I went home, and then the next week they called me and they offered me the job. So that's how the procedure went for my company for hiring. So I think it's pretty common for airlines doing mass hires or any organizations doing mass hires to have a convention center or a hotel banquet hall and do mass interviews like that. In preparation for the interview, I did a lot of studying. Like, I researched the company very thoroughly. I practiced the standard interview questions, and I tried to anticipate what they would ask for the behavioral questions. And something really, really big for this interview was I was very careful to look like a flight attendant. So when I went, I made sure my nails were very clean and you know, like a French manicure style, because that's common for flight attendants. I did my hair back and, you know, hairsprayed and did like a flight attendant look, and I wore flight attendant shoes and a skirt and a nice top, and dressed in business attire completely. And for makeup, I kept it simple, clean, and for jewelry, simple, clean. I just did pearl earrings and a gold chain necklace with a pearl on it, just clean and simple. I've heard it's good to wear a watch as well. But yeah, I would just do a lot of research. If you're interested in becoming a flight attendant, I would do a lot of research about the airlines, just the same as usual, how the company is and what they're looking for. So I found that was very helpful. Anything else about how I got the job? I'd say if you want to be a flight attendant, a question to think about too is, what do you think they're looking for? Because they asked me that, what do you think we're looking for? And my answer to that question was, I think you're looking for somebody who's great with people, has a passion for travel, but is calm under pressure. Because although most of your job, like 99% of your job is customer service, you do have to have a lot of emergency training done, and you do need to be somebody who can handle, you know, firefighting, who can be, you know, not a nurse, but a first aid person on call, somebody who can respond to a security breach, somebody who can respond to a bunch of crisis situations, not just someone who can, you know, make you crappy food and give you drinks. So yeah, that's it. If you have any more questions about how I got this job, feel free to ask. Take care. Bye.